Leaving the EU with no deal would make it unlikely that negotiations would resume any time soon, according to an expert. Philip Rycroft, former permanent secretary at the Department for Exiting the European Union, says there would be a lot of bad blood and bad temper in the event of a no deal. Speaking to BBC Newsnight, he said countries would find it difficult to get back round the table to negotiate as political pride would kick in. Mr. Rycroft spoke to Emily Maitlis during a crucial week for Brexit as talks continue well into the 11th hour. It follows a vote by MPs on Monday to reinstate controversial sections of the Internal Market Bill which allows ministers to override aspects of the UK's Brexit divorce deal. The legislation aims to protect trade between Northern Ireland and the rest of the UK if there is no formal trade deal with the EU. The EU has warned it could have a negative effect on post-Brexit trade deal talks, but the Prime Minister may compromise on the issue. It argues the bill undermines parts of the Northern Ireland Protocol signed in the Brexit withdrawal agreement in January. Prior to the vote, the government offered an olive branch to the EU and said it would be prepared to remove the clauses relating to Northern Ireland and state aid. Mr. Rycroft said, "There are two issues in there, one is no deal worse than a deal. Absolutely it is. Tariff supply would have a really big impact on some important sectors like agri-food and automotive. Don't forget if we don't get a trade deal all the other elements of the relationship fall away like internal security, short-term disruption at the border in a no-deal context is likely to be a lot worse. We have to remember also the impact within the UK itself. There are important elections coming up in Scotland next year. A no-deal outcome would very much be grist to a nationalist mill. But in the context of a no-deal, it is unlikely negotiations would resume any time soon. There would be a lot of bad blood, a lot of bad temper. Political pride would kick in. It would be difficult to get back round the table. The Internal Market Bill will now return to the House of Lords for a second time. Boris Johnson will travel to Brussels this week as he attempts to salvage a deal. The Prime Minister will meet with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. The pair spoke on the phone on Monday but failed to make significant progress. The UK stops following EU trading rules on December 31. Mr. Rycroft told Sky News on Friday the Internal Market Bill vote could be like a red rag to a bull with the EU.